Hello and welcome to this video. This video is about Earth Science fieldwork in the School of Earth and Ocean Sciences. My name is Dr. Andrew Kerr and I'm the Director of Recruitment and Admissions for the school. I also teach volcanic geology in the school. Usually this talk would be given by Dr. Ian MacDonald, but he is at home self-isolating at the minute and is not feeling up to giving the talk online, so the responsibility has fallen to me to do this for him. So this would ordinarily have been the talk that would have been given at our post-offer visit day. So if you've watched my earlier talk on an overview of the school, you already have seen this slide, and it's basically given a brief overview of each of the 3 degree programs which we have within the Earth Science side of the School of Earth and Ocean Sciences. And I'm not going to read out these for you. You can pause the video and read them out yourself. But basically, they're the point which to make is at the bottom. There are shared modules in years 1 and 2 between all these degree programs, and they provide core knowledge, core geological, geoscience knowledge that's essential to all the degrees. And then as you go into years 2, 3, and 4, if you stay for that on our MSI, you'll get more scheme defining modules, specialist modules, very particular to whatever degree you have signed up for. So this talk is principally about fieldwork, and fieldwork in year 1, as you can see, is highlighted in yellow here, is a 20 credit module. So every year, when you're at Cardiff, you would do 120 credits. So fieldwork is a substantial part of the course here at Cardiff. I should say that also, while you've got a fieldwork module, which is highlighted here, many of these other modules also have day field trips. So it's really only the residential fieldwork and some day trips that are in the fieldwork module. Fieldwork specific to other modules will be held in some cases, particularly in years 2 and 3. So in year 2, basically you've got the fieldwork is ramped up. It's now worth 40 credits. So it's a third of your year, basically. So the geologists do their own set of fieldwork particular to their degree, and then the more applied exploration geologists and environmental geoscientists do fieldwork which is more concentrated on as well as fieldwork, but on professional skills as well, particular to the more applied nature of their degrees. So the core and optional modules which you have, they're in the second year designed to underpin academic skills and ultimately to support student dissertations. And the skills are designed, those you will learn are designed to enhance your ultimate employability. So then in the third year, there is advanced fieldwork, and this is optional. And we'll talk a little bit more about that later. There's a 20 credit module, and it's one of the options. So the fieldwork in the third year is not compulsory. And then in the fourth year, if you do stay on for our 4-year undergraduate course, the fieldwork is a 20 credit module, and it is a core integral part, so it is compulsory. And this is basically a student-led research field trip, and what you have to produce at the end of it is basically a short research paper on a piece of research that you have carried out while you've been on the field trip. And there are various optional modules as well, which are designed to enhance employability. So fieldwork is essential to teaching throughout all of our 3 earth science degrees, whether that be in Penderyn, which is north of Cardiff, which you will go to in the first and probably the second year as well, and in Dorset, which you will go to in the second year. Our location in South Wales provides excellent opportunities for geological fieldwork, and our fieldwork programme, our compulsory fieldwork programme, is designed to satisfy Geological Society accreditation requirements. As I previously said in the other video, all 3 of these degrees are accredited by the Geological Society of London. So let's go through our fieldwork from year 1 right the way through to year 4. So right in induction week, so the first week you arrive in Cardiff, first or second week, you'll be going on a day field trip with the other people who are signed up for your degree programme. So here we got the new exploration geologists this past year. They went to Dollarcothai gold mine in South Wales and had an opportunity to try and pan for gold. The environmental geoscientists went to a field trip along the Glamorgan Heritage Coast. Then the semester starts, and what we start with is teaching key field skills. And this happens out in the university lawns right in front of our building, where the students learn how to use a compass, clinometer to take bearings, to measure the angle of dip of beds of rock. And students work together in teams, and it helps learning and to build confidence. So it's basically building an understanding of maps and surveying. Then later on in semester 1, there's an orienteering exercise with a map, compass and a route, and lots of information to find. And this is just north of Cardiff on Carpilly Mountain. And students from all degree programs, whether you're a geographer or a earth scientist, will complete this particular fieldwork. Then in the second semester, we got the main exercises, the Rudbury mapping exercise. And Rudbury is again just north of Cardiff. We're so well situated in Cardiff for excellent geology on your doorstep. And this is held on 3 consecutive Fridays in February and March. And indeed, I was meant to be on the 3rd Friday today out with the students, but for reasons which are very obvious, it has been cancelled. So instead, I'm giving this talk to you. But this is really a chance for students to start to learn geological and geomorphological mapping. What you can see in the mapping, the students learn to read the landscape. And what you can see in this view here of Rudbury Mountain is there's a ridge here, and then there's a hollow. And what we can read from that is that this is a band, a bed of resistant rock, and in here, where it's more eroded, it's a lot softer rock. So even there's no geology exposed, no rocks exposed at the surface, we can still map an area and make interpretations of an area based on the landforms. So you'll learn in this particular trip positioning and recording of geological data, rock identification, and reading, working out where you are on a map. And then next week was meant to have been the Pembrokeshire residential trip. And on this trip, basically it's a 5-day trip where we go to Pembrokeshire residential trip, and we look at the Paleozoic geology of southwest Wales. And the exercises investigate the sequences of rocks, the structure of the rocks, the folding, igneous intrusions, and environmental issues at a range of exceptional very scenic locations in Pembrokeshire. And then at the start of year 2, the environmental geoscience students and the exploration geology students go to Cornwall, where they investigate, depending on the degree scheme, either economic geology or environmental issues associated with a very historic UK mining district. And this builds on the rock identification and mapping skills that the students learned in year 1. At the same time, the geologists have a trip to St David's Head in Pembrokeshire to look at igneous intrusion, and to Penderyn, north of Cardiff, to look at spectacular structures that occur up there. So what this helps to develop mapping skills and the 3D relationships of rocks associated with folded and faulted rocks. And again, it builds on rock identification and the skills of mapping you learned in year 1. And then, so that's the first week of back in the second year. And then the second week back, all our geoscience students, so that's geology, exploration geology, and environmental geoscience students, go to Devon and Dorset for a week. And this is principally looking at sedimentary rocks. So lots of different rock types, sedimentary rock types. We look at the stratigraphy, different rock types across the Wessex Basin. And the Wessex Basin is an important location for hydrocarbons or for carbon capture and storage. And this supports the teaching of sedimentology. So, in semester 2, the geology students spend 2 weeks in northern Spain. And this is principally where your mapping skills are developed and refined very extensively. You've got sedimentary and metamorphic rocks here, which formed in a mountain belt. So there's lots of structural geology and consideration of how this mountain belt formed. What are the regional tectonics? And this is really, as I said, is advanced training in mapping, how to make a geological map, how to construct a cross section, and it really is to support third year mapping dissertations. And then environmental geoscience students, at the same time, they have several trips to North and South Wales, where they get involved in mapping contamination around former mining sites, looking at geohazards such as landslides, which are a big problem in South Wales. And they undertake advanced training in surveying and field sampling. Again, this is to support their third year dissertations. Exploration geology students also go to North and South Wales on a different trip. And here they're involved in mapping structures and mineralization in North Wales. And they go back to the Dolaucothi gold mine, where they get to learn the invaluable skill of mapping underground. Mapping geological structures underground is very different from mapping them on the surface. You really have to think in a lot of different ways. And that's excellent that we've got this mine, this former mine, so close that our students can use to develop these important skills required in industry. Again, it's advanced training in surveying and field sampling to support the dissertations. And then in the summer, between the second and third year, the geologists, some exploration students, undertake a mapping project. This is going to an area for 25 days. This area for exploration students would have a resource theme in the area, a mine or a quarry or something like that. Students go and map in pairs or threes for safety, and the locations go in the UK, France, Spain, Ireland, Scandinavia. Indeed, there's been other places as well that students have gone to. Some of the exploration students go on summer placements with companies. These can be 4 to 10 weeks, with companies in the resources sector. These can be in a wide range of places, and if you refer to the overview talk, which is also you've also been given a link to, you'll see there's a map in there that shows you the areas or the regions in the world that exploration geology students have gone to for their placements since 2004. So they work alongside company geologists, surveyors, and engineers, and recently students have gone to Greenland, Finland, Canada, but there's a whole range of places, as you can see on that other video. Environmental projects, again, are for 4 to 5 weeks. They have to include just 1 week of mapping in their project, and the project can cover environmental monitoring or data collection. You know, it's a combination of field work, but also collecting chemical data, analyzing water that you've collected in the field, such as here, or engineering data gathered from field samples. And topics that students have worked on include contaminated land, flood risk, landslides, and the use of land. And then year 3, advanced geoscience fieldwork. This is optional and goes to a location such as Cyprus. It's open to all the earth science degree schemes, and it's focused on linking field observations together to develop a picture of the geology of an area. And students would tackle a topic appropriate to their degree program. That may be something like ocean crustal processes, environmental legacy of a mining area, and the hazards associated with it, or gold, copper, chromium mineralization. Then for the 4th year project, go back to the other video, you'll see that half of the 4th year, if you choose to do the MESI, is a big project, and some students are able to go on fieldwork for this project. And here's some examples of some students who have gone to South Africa through the years with our geology director, Dr. Ian MacDonald, who was meant to be given this talk, which is why this particular slide is in here. But these students have had a great time and even got to walk with lions, much to Ian MacDonald's, well, he wasn't too happy that they'd been out with lions, but I think it was a very guided walk. So, anyway, students, in this case, with the supervisor, or they can go independently sometimes, or with a company or another organization. And students gather data, which they can then subsequently work up samples for their dissertation. And then, start of the 4th year, students go on a compulsory field trip, and currently it runs to southern Spain. And this is a research-led trip where students propose a small project based on the area that they go to. They collect samples, they get data, and they write a research paper. They formulate an hypothesis, and they gather the field data. The topics that students have worked on in the past have been tectonics and sedimentation, past volcanic activity, contamination with arsenic, and landslide risk. Now, just a point about the National Student Survey outcomes for earth sciences. What you've got here is our position in the league table for all different categories. So you've got assessment and feedback, academic support, over the last 3 years. And what you can see is our position is highlighted in red for each of these. And what you can see is that a steady improvement from 2017 through 2018 to last year. Indeed, there was 100% satisfaction for BSc Exploration Geology last year. So we've shown strong improvements in assessment and feedback, academic support, student voice, and indeed overall satisfaction since 2017. The overall satisfaction for the school was 95 point something last year. So there are several student societies in the school. there's an EarthSoc and the Student Economic or Society of Economic Geologists student chapter. And these typically are run by PhD students and senior undergraduate students. And particularly the SCG group organises industrial speakers to come and field visits to mineral deposits and mines. And they've organised some trips to overseas locations as well as within the UK. So in recent years, they've been to Serbia, Ireland, and Sweden. So there's good extracurricular activities associated with this as well. And that is the end of this talk. But you know, this is ultimately where you will end up. The end of your journey at Cardiff, posing for your photograph outside our very fine building, which if you come to the if the post office day it ran, you would have seen. Posing outside this with the lecturers on the day of your graduation. But maybe at the end of your, this day is the end of your university career, but it's the beginning of another journey. We'll take you on to hopefully a very good career in earth or environmental sciences. So if anybody has any questions about fieldwork or about any of the other aspects of the other presentation that I gave, do feel free to send me an email, or if you feel the question is a bit too complex and you can't put it in an email, we could arrange to talk on Skype, or I could give you a phone call. There's no problem at all. So thank you for watching this video, and I look forward to hearing from you if you've got any questions. Okay.